Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayo Nitai Gaur Sundar Jayo Nitai Gaur Sundar Nitai Gaur Sundar Jayo Nitai Gaur Sundar Jai Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jai Jaya Gurudev Jaya Srila Gurudev Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajakacharya Stottra Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Hare Krishna Pancham Pranams. Over to you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Sugopi Mataji. Hari Bol. It's always wonderful to hear from you. Hear you sing is like, being in the spiritual world. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mataji. I'm just dependent on your prayers and blessings, Mataji. All the prayers
now
and
I'm
blessings.
Dependent on your prayers and blessings, Mataji. I should be able to speak something that can add value to our.
You're already empowered, Mataji. You have so much mercy of your Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Sugopi Mataji ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodha Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravana Chari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodha Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravana Chari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gauranitai Jai Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya सुदर्शना जय बाल गोपाल, जय राधा माधव जय राधा श्याम सुंदर, जय राधा रास बिहारी राधा गिरिधारी राधा, गोविंद राधे राधे जय राधे राधे, राधे 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 राधे, राधे 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 राधे, श्री राधे जय सद्गोस्वामी, जय गुरु परंपरा जय प्रभुपदा, जय गुरुदेवा निताय, गौर हरि बोल, गौर हरि बोल, गौर हरि बोल निताय, गौर हरि बोल निताय, गौर हरि बोल, गौर हरि बोल, गौर हरि बोल निताय, गौर हरि बोल। कलियुग विदित पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्री श्री राधा माधव अष्ट की वृंद की जय, पाशांकुश एकादशी महामहोत्सव की जय, चतुर्मस्य व्रता की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यां नरं चैव नरोत्तमं, देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया, भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टके। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमो पङ्कजनाभाय, नमो पङ्कजमालिने, नमो पङ्कजनेत्राय, नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रे। पाहि पाहि महायोगीन् देवदेव जगत्पते, नान्यं त्वादभयं पश्ये यत्र मृत्यु परस्परम्। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निधि नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे, निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौराद्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते, गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी, वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। गुरवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। हरिः ओम तत्सत्। Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you all very much for joining in for our Srimad Bhagavatam, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya on the auspicious occasion of Ekadashi. Thank you very much. We always, like always, I request devotees to switch on your cameras. I can see Karpagvalli Mataji, Rohini Mataji, Sunita, Shri Radha Mataji. Thank you very much. I'll request other devotees also to please switch on your cameras if possible, because ours is a personal movement. We want to take inspiration from all the devotees who give us their wonderful darshan. So thank you very much. Today we're going to start a new chapter, the Srimad Bhagavatam, right? This is a very wonderful chapter which tells us how false pride will lead to our downfall. We may be very experts, we may be great scholars, we may be great pundits, we may be doing wonderful services, right? Daksha Prajapati was given this seva of creating progeny, right? He was a father-in-law of Lord Shiva. He was Vaishnavanama Yata Shambhu. That itself talks about how dear he is to Sati, who's the wife of the greatest of the Vaishnavas, Lord Shiva. Even such a person, if false ego takes the position in our heads, right? That we think, oh, I am the controller, I am doing so much seva. Oh, if I am not there, how will ISKCON function? Right? Sometimes we get so much bewildered. Just because devotees, glorify us, they encourage us by kind words. Sometimes it goes over our head so much that His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj says, when pride goes, on top of our head, then fall down has already happened. Then later on, when we actually fall down, it is only a detail. So this is a very important section of the Bhagavatam, which tells us that how much our great we are because of the mercy of Guru and Gauranga. If we come under the influence of false pride, thinking that I am doing it, right? Not understanding the real fact that whatever we are doing, right? Even a dumb person can cross over, can speak eloquently, or a crippled person can cross over mountains if he has the mercy of Guru Gauranga, Radha Krishna. And in this way, we don't realize that, and we think that, oh, I have grown 2 horns. I am talking so beautifully in Krishna consciousness. Then we have already fallen down, right? Then it is just a matter of time when we will actually fall down. So I just like to start with this wonderful story. I love this story, and I probably tell this in every class. This is a story of Punar Mushiko Bhava, right? So this is a story of how there was a rat, right? It's nice to tell stories because I love stories. So I generally like to tell stories. So there was this rat. So what happened to this rat? This rat was constantly chased by a cat. So what happens? This rat goes to a sadhu. Sadhus are very merciful. Sadhus are so compassionate, right? Although not deserving. Since the rat took the shelter of the sadhu, and begged the sadhu, please help me. These cats are constantly attacking me. I'm living a life of fear. Please help me. The sadhu became very compassionate to the rat and said, okay, rat, you become a cat. So then the rat became so happy. Thank you so much, sadhu. And then, running around. And then just after a few days, the rat who's now in the form of a cat comes to the sadhu. Sadhu, I'm being chased by dogs now. So please help me. Okay, the sadhu says, okay, may you become a dog. And then the rat, which became a cat, which became a dog, is like, thank you, sadhu. You're so wonderful. I can't express my words of gratitude to you. You're so wonderful, Sadhuji. All right. Then another 2 days later, a tiger is chasing the dog. And then this dog comes running. Sadhuji, please. Now tiger is chasing me. And the sadhu says, okay, you become a tiger. And then this tiger, when he assumes the form of a tiger, the rat becoming a cat, becoming a dog, and becoming a tiger. Now he says, Mahaprasade Govinde, looking at the sadhu who's made him a tiger. And what does the sadhu do? Punar Mushiko Bhava. Oh, rat, you're so proud. You become a tiger and then you want to kill me. You become a mouse again. Right? So in that consciousness, we will understand this pastime of how Daksha, right? He is a great devotee of the Lord. Otherwise, how could he get a seva of creating a progeny? He is a great devotee of the Lord, but what happens when we become envious? When we become envious of people who are better doing, even within the devotee community, when somebody does better service than us, we become envious of them, right? Rather than helping them, supporting them, and by their mercy, we can also do some seva. Instead of that, the general attitude, at least I can talk for myself, right? Enviousness is on top of the mind, right? So how to give up this envious attitude? By constantly, I repeat the story for my own purification, right? The time is not, the time is, anytime Punar Mushiko Bhava can happen, right? So just because some devotees are very kindly, glorifying us, we should not grow two horns. So this is a purification for myself, that I always tell this story. This is a very, very wonderful story which tells us that that we are all rats, right? We are all having this, they say in this material world, to get this, to get that, to get this job, to get this, admission in this university, they call it a rat race, right? We are all part of the rat race, right? But we don't want to remain rats. We want to become empowered to preach the glories, to practice Krishna consciousness, to preach the message of Krishna consciousness. And when we are thus empowered by our gurus to do a little bit of seva, we should ensure that we maintain that attitude of gratitude, right? The rat turned cat turned dog also had the gratitude. Now, until it became a tiger, until it became, got the position of, having some kind of power, right? With Prabhupada says, with power comes responsibility. The more one is empowered, the more one has to have the responsibility of being a person whom others can get inspired from, right? So we are all practicing devotees. So the outside world will always look at us. Oh, this is the behavior of a Krishna conscious devotee. I don't want to be Krishna conscious, Baba. Right? We should not be wrong examples, because we are representing Srila Prabhupada to whatever limited extent we are doing. It's not that I'm talking about myself being a great devotee, a great preacher. No, whatever little we are able to do, even if we are able to chant 16 rounds, it's only because of the mercy of Guru and Gauranga. And if you're able to inspire somebody else to chant one round, that is simply because of the mercy of Guru and Gauranga. On that state of mind, being grateful, having this gratitude in the core of our heart, to Brahmandi Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasadi Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. We are all so fortunate that by the grace of Guru, by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, and we have got this Bhakti Lata Bija. So we have to carefully water it. And Prabhupada said, whatever little you have heard, just go and repeat outside. So we want to do that. We want to simply hear from pure devotees coming in the bona fide Guru Parampara, Brahma Madhva, Gaudiya Vaishnava Guru Parampara, coming under ISKCON, coming under Srila Prabhupada. We want to hear from all of them, and then we want to also speak the same thing, right? Without adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. We just want to simply repeat it with an attitude of gratitude. I have some or the other, I have received it, so I want to just share it for my own purification and for the pleasure of my gurus who kindly given me this. All right. So with this introduction, let's quickly jump into the verses. We have about 8 verses today. I will share my screen. I hope devotees are able to see my screen. You can just confirm if you're able to see my screen. So we're going to do 8 verses from Canto 4, Chapter 2, text number 1 to 8. Right? So devotees can raise your hands and we can quickly recite these wonderful verses. Chapter 2, this is entitled Daksha curses Lord Shiva. Text 1. Vidro vacha bhaveshi lavatam shreshte daksho duhitrivatsalaha vidvesham akarod kasmat anadridyatmajam satim.
Krishna. Ansuya Mataji, you can recite the shloka, Mataji. And Archana Mataji, translation.
Mataji,
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Yeah, somebody can recite the synonyms, then translation 1 person can do and purport 1 person can do. So we have 8 verses. So I would say 8 into 4, 32, 33 devotees. I can see 34 devotees. So everyone will get an opportunity. One can recite the words, one can do synonyms, one can do translation, one can do purport. I would request everyone to please participate. Hare Krishna. Dhanavats.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Synonyms. Viduravacha, Vidra said, Bhave, towards Lord Shiva.
Hare Krishna. Somebody can recite the verse.
Yeah, okay, Mataji. Viduravacha, Bhave Shilavatam Shreshte, Daksho Duhitrvatsalaha, विद्वेषम् अकरोत् तस्मात् अनादृत्यात्मजां सतीम्. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Archana Mataji translation.
Hare Krishna. Pranam Mataji. Synonyms.
Hare
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Vidura Uvacha. Vidura said, Bhave towards Lord Shiva. Shīlavadam among the gentle. Sreshte the best. Daksha Dohidra Valsala being affectionate towards their daughter. Vidvesham enmity. Akarot did exhibit. Kasmat why? Anadritya neglecting. Atmajam his own daughter. Sadim Sadi. Hare Krishna.
Kripamai Mataji translation. And Rohini Mataji purport.
Thank you, Mataji Dhandatana. On translation, Vidura inquired, why was Daksha, who was so affectionate towards his daughter, envious of Lord Shiva, who is the best among the gentle? Why did he neglect his daughter Sati?
Purport by Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, Rohini Mataji.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the second chapter of the fourth canto, the cause of dissension between Lord Shiva and Daksha, which was due to the great sacrifice arranged by Daksha for the pacification of the entire universe, is explained. Lord Shiva is described here as the best of the gentle because he is not envious of anyone. He is equal to all living entities and all other good qualities are present in his personality. The word Shiva means all auspicious. No one can be an enemy of Lord Shiva's. For he is so peaceful and renounced that he does not even construct a house for his residence, but lives under a tree, always detached from all worldly things. The personality of Lord Shiva symbolizes the best of gentleness. Then why was Daksha, who offered his beloved daughter to such a gentle personality inimical towards Lord Shiva so intensely that Sati, the daughter of Daksha and the wife of Lord Shiva, gave up her body? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this is very wonderful. See, three important characters are described here, right? One is, of course, Daksha. Daksha is arranging a great sacrifice, right? And just like when a father is arranging for a great sacrifice, the daughters want to attend that sacrifice, right? And what happens? Daksha is very envious of Lord Shiva. Why? Because at a previous time, when in this particular time only, when he's arranging for the sacrifice, what happens is all the sages are there. Brahma is there, Lord Shiva is there, and all of the Prajapatis and all of the sages are all there in that assembly, in that particular sacrifice. And what happens when Daksha walks in? Everybody stand up, right? Of course, Daksha is doing this wonderful sacrifice, means he has the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So everybody is respecting Daksha, and he walks in, and then he sees that everybody is respecting him. He's happy. Oh, yeah, I'm getting my due respect, right? And then what he sees Brahmaji sitting down, and he also sees his own son-in-law, Lord Shiva, is also sitting down. He knows, of course, my own father need not get up for me, but then why is this Shiva, who's my son-in-law, right? Generally, father-in-law, they expect that the son-in-law, should give them respect, should get up, inquire, you want something and all, right? So in this way, Daksha was expecting that Lord Shiva will actually get up and receive Daksha, or at least stand up and give him some respect. So then what happens? Lord Shiva is eternally meditating. He is Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu. So he is eternally meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? But even before that, right? See, all these things, when things come up to our mind, the first thing that comes out is not the original cause, right? Originally, what happened? Daksha wanted his daughter to get married to somebody very opulent. He did not like, what is Lord Shiva? He's sitting in the graveyard and he's smearing his body with ashes and, wearing, not wearing appropriate clothes. What is this person? Having a snake around his neck, bhutas, pretas and all. What is this? Why does my daughter want to marry Lord Shiva? Right? It does not understand that externals don't count. In the internal, in his heart of hearts, he is delivering the most fallen. He is delivering the most tamasic people, right? Those who are attached to bhutas and pretas. Like Lord Shiva being Ashutosh, like Prabhupada talks about in this purport also. Like Lord Shiva, the meaning of Lord Shiva is very auspicious. He's also called Ashutosh. That means he very easily pleased. So, although externally he looks very inauspicious, that he is having this tiger skin or the snake around his neck, and and all of that, wearing ashes on his forehead and all that, he's called Ashutosh because he's very easily pleased. That's why he wants to deliver the most fallen. Right, Prabhupada also went to the Western world, right? Because he wanted to deliver the Paschatya Desh, right? Who did not know who Krishna was, right? When somebody saw this Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, right? First they saw Jagannath, right? Malti Mataji, right? She did not know who that Jagannath was, right? In India, it is very common. We all have heard when we are born only, right? We've been educated by our parents. There is this place called Jagannath Puri, where Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra Maya, Sudarshanji's carts go every year and all that. But in the Western world, they didn't know. Like Malti Mataji didn't know who's Jagannath. So she liked this beautiful form of the Lord. But she didn't know. It was a nice toy. So she brought it to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I found this. And then Prabhupada immediately offered obeisance. This is the Lord of the world. This is the Lord of the universe. This is Jagannath. So in this way, Prabhupada wanted to deliver the most fallen, right? At least those who are born in the Western world, right? That also we don't know. Many may be born in the Western world. All of our current acharyas are born in the Western world. They may be born in the Western world just to assist Srila Prabhupada in his mission, right? He is a Senapati Bhakta who had to preach Krishna consciousness in the West. And just like when Krishna comes, he brings all of his associates to Vrindavan. So similarly, when Prabhupada went to the West, Krishna must have arranged all the pure devotees to be born in the Western world, right? So they externally manifest that they don't know who's Jagannath, right? But the lesson here is, like Prabhupada went to the Western world to deliver those people who are very fallen. Similarly, Lord Shiva is delivering all the people who are in the most tamasic platform, who are attached to putas, pretas, who don't want, who are so much in tamogana, I don't want to know anything, right? Even such people, they get elevated by the mercy of Lord Shiva. So such a great personality, Daksha could not identify because of his false ego. He thought externals, what is this? How will he take care of my daughter? Right? Of course, they lived in a very, very wonderful place called Kailash. All the benefits, all the luxuries were there in Kailash, right? Yogakshemam Vahamiham, Krishna. Lord Shiva is Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu, to the greatest of the Vaishnavas, right? Lord Krishna will not provide, Krishna provides for all of us, the sun, the moon, the vegetables, the this, that, everything. Krishna provides, even to us, Sadhaka Bhaktas. Will he not provide for Lord Shiva? Right? So in this way, he lives in an abode called Kailash, which is full of luxuries, right? Although Lord Shiva stays away from it, right? Because he practices Yukta Vairagya, right? So everything is there, and this is very wonderful. Actually, it is said that in Kailash, actually, the greatest wonderful thing happens. Shiva is the supreme, the supreme servitor, the supreme Vaishnava. His wife, Parvati, she sits on a tiger. Tiger is her Vahan, right? And then Shiva himself has a snake around his neck, right? And then this, what is this? Kartikeya. Kartikeya, his Vahan is peacock. Right? Snakes and peacocks don't go well together. Always they are fighting. Right? And then, our Ganesha, his Mushak, right? His Vahan is mouse. Right? The mouse, the snake, the tiger, and who else? The mouse, the snake, the tiger, and the rat. Peacock. Yeah, sorry. Thank you, Rohini Mataji. Right? All these four animals are enemies of each other. Right? How do they stay so peacefully within the same family? They said because it is a family of Vaishnavas, right? All of their, the entire family, which also comprises of these four animals and birds, they all live in peace because they have Krishna in the center, right? Like that, even in our family, we have the husband and the wife and the children, right? There may be, so there are reasons for conflicts. This is Kali Yuga, Kalir Doshe Nidhe Rajan. Astihi Ekon Mahanwa, Kalir Doshe Nidhe Rajan. Right? This Kali Yuga is full of faults. At what is that verse? Prayena alpa yusha sabya kalavasmin yuge jana manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya upadrataha. It is predicted in Kali Yuga people will have manda buddhi, people will not have intelligence, people will be misguided, people will quarrel at the drop of a hat. Why did you make dosa and not idli today? Right? That can be a source of conflict. One daughter wants idli, one daughter wants dosa, somebody wants upma. Right? How many people can be satisfied? Right? But if everybody in the home is satisfied because we are having Krishna Prasadam, right? And we have a schedule. Monday, dosa, Tuesday, idli, Wednesday, upma, whatever it may be. And everything is offered to the Lord. And because we are offering and having Krishna prasadam, Krishna gives us the intelligence. Okay, one day you keep one thing. Everybody is satisfied at home. How do we get this intelligence? Because we offer it to Krishna. Krishna gives us intelligence, right? Mata smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Krishna will give us intelligence. If we keep Krishna in the center, Krishna will give us the intelligence how not to quarrel in this quarrel prevalent world, in this quarrel prevalent Kali Yuga, right? So why was there no quarrel in Kailash, right? Although they had all the possible animals and birds and different opinions, right? And we also see that Kartikeya and Ganesha also used to have quarrel. Who can go around the world fast and come back? Like that. So it's not a quarrel-free place. But the quarrels all get minimized because there is a higher power that is pervading the entire place, which is Krishna consciousness. So in our homes also, we can make it quarrel-free. We can make it peaceful, right? To start with, at least we need peace. To practice Krishna consciousness also, we need peace, first of all. We can make it, a nice peaceful environment when we keep Krishna in the center. And then when we chant Hare Krishna, the family that dances together, advances together. The family that sings together, clings together. The family that prays together, stays together. So in this way, when we keep Krishna in the center and start with Mangala Arati and end with Shayana Arati, then our home will be the abode of peace. And where peace starts, it ends with bliss. Right? We don't want simply peace, right? We want Anandamayo Abhyasa. We want the best happiness, right? Everything that we do, we want happiness. What is the formula? It starts with peace by keeping Krishna in the center. And when we do Mangala Arati, Gaur Arati, when we hear Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, when we study together, in this way, when the entire family is engaged in Krishna consciousness, it will result in bliss. Right? Then it's no austerity. To do Krishna consciousness becomes so wonderful if all the family members come together. Right? So where did we come here? Why did we come here? Yeah, we came here because in Lord Shiva's family, there were so many reasons to quarrel. Right? All of the animals and birds, they all had Krishna in the center. And because of that, and we also know that our Lord Shiva himself is Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu. So in this way, it was a peaceful environment in Kailash. But what happened when Daksha's daughter wanted to get married to Lord Shiva? Daksha did not like it because he was seeing the externals. Okay, how can this person who's smeared ashes on his body take care of my daughter? So in this way, what happened? He saw that, oh, this person is not giving me respect. I will not even invite him for the next sacrifice. So in that way, what happened? Daksha took this, to his heart, thinking that I don't want this person who does not know how to offer respect to others. Right? So the three personalities here are Daksha, Shiva, and Sati. Right? Daksha is, bewildered by his false ego because he is awaiting respect from others. Lord Shiva is transcendental. He would have offered respect to Daksha. It is not mind. He always, Vaishnavas, they offer respect to everybody. Tranadapi shuni chena tarodiva saishnuna. Amanina mardina kirtaniya sadahari. Right? The very fact that Lord Shiva is Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu, he is the embodiment of humility. Right? So he would have definitely offered respect to Daksha. But why didn't he offer respect? Because he was meditating on the transcendental form of Lord Krishna. He did not even see Daksha enter the arena. If he had seen, he would have offered respect. Right? But Daksha mistook it. And then we have Sati. Sati is the daughter of Daksha, the wife of Lord Shiva. Generally, they say, dharma sankat. When the husband and father don't get along, Sati is in dharma sankat. Right? She actually gives up her body. The Prabhupada says here, why did she give up her body? She gave up her body because she knew that her husband is the greatest devotee of the Lord, but she could not convey that to her father, and she knew her father was causing Vaishnava aparad, and she was feeling so helpless. Right? There are three different things that is told that a devotee, when he or she hears a blasphemy of a devotee, one, she should wake up, she should get up and tell, you should not blaspheme this devotee. These are the glories of this devotee. That's the first response. Second response, immediately leave that place. I'm not able to do anything here. I'm so helpless. I'm so useless. Let me leave this place. And the third thing is one should give up one's body immediately. And Sati actually did that. She gave up her body immediately. So what is it that learning for us? When we are in a place where a particular devotee is blasphemed, right? The devotee need not be such an exalted devotee like Lord Shiva. Even if a devotee is, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, even if a devotee is chanting Hare Krishna, even once if he's chanted, he's a devotee. Right? Of course, different definitions were given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during the Rath Yatra pastimes. But one of the definitions given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is even if a devotee has chanted Hare Krishna even once, that devotee he's a devotee. And you're not supposed to blaspheme devotees for in our own interest, right? Otherwise, it'll be mad elephant offense. Our own little creeper that has just begin to grow, it'll get rooted. It'll get completely uprooted. Do we want that for ourselves, right? By committing Vaishnava aparad, we are committing the greatest crime to ourselves, right? So that's why it said Swartha Gatimi Vishnum, right? As somebody who's very selfish will ensure that, oh, I will never commit Vaishnava aparad. Because I don't want my Bhakti Lata, which we have got with by the mercy of Guru and Gauranga, to get uprooted just because I commit Vaishnava aparad. So in this way, for us, what is the learning? If you're not strong enough in the Shastras to defeat that person who is committing Vaishnava aparad, right? We are supposed to leave that place immediately. Right? Offer obeisances. Vanchakalpadrubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha, and leave that place immediately. That is what is prescribed in Kali Yuga for us. Right? Because we cannot give up our body. Sati is the wife of Lord Shiva, and she is in such an elevated position, and this is all leelas. Right? These leelas are already predetermined for us to learn life lessons. Right? It is not that I kill myself. Oh, I'm not able to save this devotee from being committed, and I commit aparad. Because this is not my body. This body has been given to me by the Supreme Lord for me to perfect my life and go back to Godhead. I have no right to kill this body. Right? But what should I do? I should follow option number 2. If I'm not able to convince the other not to blaspheme the Vaishnava, I should follow option number 2. So option number 1 or option number 2. I should leave the place immediately if I'm not able to convince another person to not commit Vaishnava aparad. Right? And the third thing also what we can do is we go and report to our senior devotees. Right? We are not able to do anything. We leave that place. If we don't report to our senior devotee, which not that you go and tell everybody, you know what happened? This person was talking about this person. Everywhere you go and tell. What is it? Even we will get a greater Vaishnava aparad and the person was talking in that group also. Right? What is our duty? Our duty is to report to my temple authority, my counselor, that so and so thing happened, but I was not in a position to do anything, so I just left the place. Is it the right thing that I did? Is there anything more that I should do? We can ask our counselor, we can ask our senior devotee, take guidance and follow it. That is our duty. Then what happens? We will not get the reactions of the Vaishnava aparad that we have committed. Because we heard something about a devotee, right? We left immediately, but we did hear something. So in this way, we protect ourselves from Vaishnava aparad, right? But if we are in a strong position that we are able to defeat that person, oh, you should not be committing this Vaishnava aparad. This devotee is so glorious, and we should be able to talk, so much about the glorification of that particular devotee. Then we should do that. That is number 1. Number 2 is we leave the place. And number 3 is we should ask our senior devotees, right? That I could not do anything. Is there anything else that I can do? If we do this, then we will not be suffering the reactions of having heard the Vaishnava aparad. So in this way, these 3 characters are teaching us, right? Now, what is the context, right? Vidura is inquiring from Maitreya, right? Just like when we don't understand something, we inquire from our seniors. So in this case, Vidura is inquiring from Maitreya Rishi, right? Daksha was so affectionate. It is natural for the father to be affectionate towards the daughter. But when pride goes over the head, all the love and affection go out of the window. Right? That's why it is said all love and so-called love in this world is simply lust. As long as, because we also saw Kamsa, he was driving the chariot of his own sister Devaki. So much love he had. He was personally driving. He had so many, he was a king, isn't it? He was a prince, right? So what did he do? He was personally driving the chariot because of so much love. When the Akashvani came, the 8th son of Devaki is going to be the reason for your death. What happens? All the love, affection, everything went out of the window. Oh, my life is under threat. Okay, put this Devaki not even put Devaki inside the bars. Immediately pulled out the sword. I want to kill this Devaki. Right? So that much, we are so much attached to sense gratification. Oh, I want to live. I want to enjoy. Oh, I want to get everything. Why? Who is the person who is going to stop me from it? Let me kill that person. Right? So that is the attitude of even Kamsa, who loved his sister so dearly. So in this world, material love is lust. Right? Prabhupada also says, right? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita chapter 15, Urdu Moolam Adaha Shakam. So this love of this material world is lust. Just like the tree that is there on on the banks, right? On the bank of the river. That has its root in the proper place, right? The root actually it goes down and it actually absorbs the soil that allows the tree to grow and nicely. The branches are all on top. And then what happens to the reflection, which is a material world? This reflection, the roots are growing up, the flowers and the fruits are all going down. Why? Because that is an illusion. There is no love in this world, right? Prabhupada says the only love that is very, very close to the love of the spiritual world is a love of a mother for her children, right? Because it is ahituki napratihata to a certain extent, right? But the love of the spiritual world, right? With the real love is what the Radharani and the gopis exhibit for Lord Shri Krishna, right? Even if I have to go and suffer millions of lifetimes in hell, if the dust of my feet can cure Lord Krishna's headache, let me give. They accumulated so much of dust and gave to Narada Muni. And Narada Muni is wondering, oh my God, what is it? What is happening? Right? That is selfless love. Right? Aslishyava padaratam pinashtumama darshanan marmahatam karotuva yada tadhava vidadatu lampato mat prananatastu so evanapara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Radharani, who is Krishna in the mode of Radharani. Right? Whether you embrace me, whether you leave me alone and go away, you are my prananatha. You are my worshipful Lord. Unconditionally, I want to worship you. That is love of the spiritual world. Everything else in this world, what we see is lust. Right? So we see that Daksha was so affectionate towards his daughter. Right? But all that affection went out of the window when he did not even invite Sati for this yajna, because he knows that Shiva will come, and if Shiva comes, he will disrespect me. I don't want to go through that agony of being disrespected from someone else. Right? So very clearly, sense gratification was his priority. Of course, he would have had his love for his own daughter. Right? So this is what is the inquiry that Vidura did to Maitreya Muni. And let us see what happens in the next verse now. All right, let's move to text number 2. Okay, we are at 10:10. Okay, we will have time, I hope. All right, let's move to text number 2. Who's okay? Kastam characharam gurum nirvairam shantarigraham atma ramam katam dveshti jagato daivatam mahat.
Shamapriya Mataji, Shloka, and Sudha Mataji for the synonyms, and Chandana Mataji for the translation, and Shobha Mataji for the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. Kastam chara kurum naivairam shanta vigraham atmaram katam dveshti jagato daivatam mahat. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you, Narad. Synonyms?
Sudha Mataji. Sudha Mataji? Not audible, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, audible now.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. Kaha, who, Daksha, tam, him, Lord Shiva, chara achara of the whole world, both animate and inanimate, Gurum, the spiritual master, Nirvairam, without enmity, Shanta Vigraham, having a peaceful personality, Atmaramam, satisfied in himself, Katam, how, Dveshti, hates, Jagata, of the universe, Daivatam, demigod, Mahat, the great. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Shiva, the spiritual master of the entire world, is free from enmity, is a peaceful personality, and is always satisfied in himself. He is the greatest among the demigods. However, how is it possible that Daksha could be inimical towards such an auspicious personality? Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Purport?
Shobha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Shiva is described here as Charachara Guru, the spiritual master of all animate and inanimate objects. He is sometimes known as Bhutanath, which means the worshipable deity of the dull-headed. Bhuta is also sometimes taken to indicate the ghosts. Lord Shiva takes charge of reforming persons who are ghosts and demons, not to speak of others who are godly. Therefore, he is the spiritual master of everyone, both the dull and demonic and the highly learned Vaishnavas. It is also stated, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Shambhu, Lord Shiva, is the greatest of all Vaishnavas. On one hand, he is worshipable object of the dull demons, and on the other, he is the best of all Vaishnavas or devotees, and he has a sampradaya called the Rudra Sampradaya. Even if he is an enemy or is sometimes angry, such a personality cannot be the object of envy. So Vidura is in astonishment asked why he was taken as such, especially by Daksha. Daksha is also not an ordinary person. He is a Prajapati in charge of fathering population, and all of his daughters are highly elevated, especially Sati. The word Sati means the most chaste. Whenever there is a consideration of chastity, Sati, the wife of Lord Shiva and daughter of Daksha, is considered first. Vidura was therefore astonished. Daksha is such a great man, he thought, and is the father of Sati, and Lord Shiva is the spiritual master of everyone. How then could there possibly be so much enmity between them with that Sati, the most chaste goddess, could give up her body because of their quarrel? Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yeah, so we discussed this. How was it that on the one side is the spiritual master of all? Why spiritual master of all? Because Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu. Right? Only somebody who has Krishna in his heart, who has realized Tadvidi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadekshanti Te Jnanam Jnanina Sattva Darshinaha. Right? The spiritual masters are those who have Krishna in their heart, and by their mercy, they can transfer Krishna to our hearts also. So such a person is a spiritual master, and who can be a spiritual master better than Lord Shiva? Because he is the greatest of the Vaishnavas. And on the other hand, we have the Prajapati, the one who is actually creating progeny, who's been awarded that seva by the Supreme Lord himself, right? So in this case, it is a war between Rudra, right? We also have a Rudra Sampradaya. Prabhupada is talking about Rudra Sampradaya, 4 bona fide Sampradayas where Krishna personally gave this knowledge to Rudra. Right? Like Krishna gave the knowledge to Brahma, we have the Brahma Madhva, Gaudiya Vaishnava Guru Parampara. And then Lord Krishna gave the knowledge to the Sanat Kumaras, we have the Kumara Sampradaya. And then Krishna gave this knowledge to Lakshmi Devi, we have the Shri Sampradaya. Similarly, Krishna also gave this knowledge to Lord Shiva, that is the Rudra Sampradaya. So he is a spiritual master. He is the original Guru of this Rudra Sampradaya. So how is it we're not able to understand how a great devotee like Daksha, he's a great man, he's in charge of progeny, right, and everything. How is he becoming envious of Lord Shiva, who is a spiritual master? Why he's becoming envious? Because where false ego is there, then everything gets clouded. Then we become illusioned, right? Just like, when we are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it says that when we get transcendental knowledge, it should increase the humility of our heart. It should not increase the ego or the false ego in our head. Right? Oh, I'm chanting 16 rounds Hare Krishna. Oh, I'm hearing Bhagavad Gita. I'm hearing Bhagavatam. Oh, I know everything. I know these verses. Memorize these verses. I know these verses by heart. That means we have material knowledge only, right? This memorizing, reproduction, writing, everything on the answer paper, that is material knowledge. We'll get degrees, we'll get your doctor, we'll get chartered accountant, we'll get lawyer degree, right? All that will die with the body, right? But then this transcendental knowledge which will remain with us eternally, life after life after life, should not increase the ego of our head. It should not increase our false ego, but rather it should increase the humility of the heart. When we understand how great Krishna is, automatically the natural potency is that it should increase the humility of the heart. If it is not increasing the humility of the heart, that means there is some problem in the way we are receiving the knowledge. Either we are hearing from a non-bona fide person, or we are having so much ego, or we are thinking that I am learning this because of my knowledge, because of my intelligence, right? Not understanding that this knowledge and this intelligence is also given to us by Krishna. Everything, the body that's made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether, this mind, this intelligence, and the ego is given to us by the Lord. Only thing we add is false to it. Krishna has given us the ego to know that Jivera Swarbe Krishna and Nitya Das, but we add the false to it, thinking that I am the controller, I am the enjoyer, I should be the enjoyer, I should be the master of everything I survey. We add the false to it, and then we are brought to this material world. Okay, go and enjoy in this world, and then you're doing Puna Punas Charvita Charvanana, eating the already, this sugarcane juice. When we go to a sugarcane juice shop, what does he do? He wants to extract the maximum from it. You know, that first 2-3 glasses are nice, right? It's a law of diminishing marginal propensity. We get even, we love, gulab. Okay, I don't want to get, okay, rasagulla. Okay, we can make at home and have rasagulla. Okay, on Ekadashi also, right? Only if we make the paneer at home, we can make. And that too, A2 milk, we nicely make paneer and then we can make rasagulla. That rasagulla is eatable on, is honorable on Ekadashi. Okay, we make nice rasagullas, we offer to Krishna. How many rasagullas we can have? First rasagulla, wow, this is Ekadashi. I can simply observe by having rasagullas. This is so wonderful. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the 8th rasagulla. I don't want to eat anything. Oh, don't tell the name of rasagulla. I simply hate rasagulla. Right? After 1 hour, what happens? Somebody gives us the same rasagulla. I like rasagulla. I want to have, it's Krishna Prasadam. Isn't it? There is a law of diminishing marginal utility, which we cannot enjoy. Even if I want to enjoy, I want to eat 100 rasagullas. Can I eat? I cannot eat. That's how this body is composed. This body is not meant to enjoy. This body has been given to us so that we perfect our life. We repent for our mistakes. We do seva to the Lord. And in this way we derive bliss. We cannot derive bliss by sense enjoyment. And time and again they realize this. When we eat 7 rasagullas, we will realize, I don't want any further enjoyment. I don't want rasagulla. Right? Then we realize this body is not meant for enjoyment. But when we try to enjoy and exploit the material nature, at some point we will always get frustrated because we are not meant to enjoy. We are meant to serve. Jivera swarupa hoye, Krishnera nitya das. Right? When we forget this bhoga, when we forget the seva vritti, right? Just as the sweetness is the dharma of the sugar. Right? Dharma means what? Dharma means what is so much inseparable that it cannot exist without it. Just like the sugar cannot exist without sweetness. The soul cannot exist without seva. But what are we doing? We are putting so much of bhoga, enjoyment. What can I get here? What can I get here? So much enjoyment. I want enjoyment. That the soul gets frustrated. I cannot enjoy these material things. Why can't you understand? Manda buddhi, medhavini. Right? Then we understand, I cannot enjoy. I have to serve. And in this way, I will get bliss. Right? Constantly, material nature, prakriti gives us lessons. But we keep forgetting. Just like we go for the same rasagulla after 2 hours. Oh, their enjoyment is there in this rasagulla. That's how we are trying to exploit and enjoy this material nature. Although we are kicked by Maya time and again. Right? So that is how Daksha, who is very learned, right? Of course, we are not talking about Daksha. Why? Because Daksha, Lord Shiva, Sati, the family, just like Arjuna was put into illusion. For us to learn Bhagavad Gita, Parikshit Maharaj put that snake around Samik Rishi. For us to learn Bhagavatam, we are studying Bhagavatam only because Parikshit Maharaj put that snake around Samik Rishi. And Parikshit Maharaj heard and then come back to Godhead. And he gave us this Bhagavatam by which we can also go back to Godhead. Right? So devotees, whatever situation, they see how they can serve. Right? And why I said this is, we should not tell Daksha, Daksha is so bad. Is Arjuna bad? No, Arjuna is the Sakha of Krishna. If we have to tell, this is for Daksha. Right? And this is for Vidura. Vidura is inquiring to Maitreya. Why is it? What isn't it for me? For me, time pass. Bhagavatam, every day I have to hear, that's all. No! This is a lesson for me. Right? If this can happen to Daksha, Daksha ultimately got the head of a goat. Right? Because he offended Lord Shiva. Right? What happens? When I am a sadhaka bhakta, I am not even as powerful as Daksha. Right? I can't even, the maximum that I can do is deliver 2 children by the grace of Guru and Gauranga. Right? He is Prajapati. He's creating the entire world. And he's been given that task by the Supreme Lord. And what is his position? He got the head of a goat. Why? Why? Because he was filled with false pride. The seva that he got, the power that he got, right? It's not like I'm saying, I'm accusing Daksha, right? Because Daksha is the father of Sati. By that virtue, he is already great. But he is, just like Arjuna was put into illusion, Daksha was made to do it because he is teaching us a lesson for sadhaka bhaktas. That way, we are glorifying Daksha. We are glorifying Daksha also. Just like we glorify Parikshit Maharaj, we glorify Arjuna, right? Because of them, we are learning this lesson. That we glorify Daksha and we learn the lesson that pride goeth before the fall, right? We don't want false pride to get into our head because it will make us do all the aparadas, including Vaishnava aparad, that will cut the root of our bhakti lata. All right, let's quickly go ahead. Next verse. Okay, we'll finish in the next 10 minutes. We already discussed whatever we have to discuss. We'll quickly read the verses, translation and purport. Text number 3. Etat akyahi me brahman jamatu shvasurasya cha vidveshastu yatah pranams tyatyaje dushtayan sati
Anita
tatyaje
Mataji, Shloka.
dushtayan sati. Yes, Hare Krishna.
Mataji, Shloka, Sharmila Mataji, synonyms, and Anasuya Mataji for the translation.
Hare Krishna. एतद् आख्याहि मे ब्रह्मन् जामतु श्वशुरस्य च विद्वेषस्तु यथ प्राणांस्तत्यजे दुस्त्यजान् सति. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Synonyms by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Etat, thus, akyahi, please tell. Me, to me. Brahman, O Brahmana. Jamatu, O son-in-law, Lord Shiva. Shurasya, of the father-in-law, Daksha. Cha, and Vidvesha, quarrel. Tu, as to. Yata, for what cause? Pranan, her life. Tatyaje, gave up. Dustyajan, which is impossible to give up. Sati, sati. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Maitreya, to part with one's life is very difficult. Would you kindly explain to me how such a son-in-law and father-in-law could quarrel so bitterly that the great goddess Sati could give up her life? Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, thank you. So Vidura is asking Maitreya, my dear Maitreya Rishi, how could such great personalities fight? Because it's a lesson for us. Maitreya vacha pura vishwasrujam satre sameta paramarshayah tatha maragana sarve sanuga munayo agnayah.
Krishnamurti Prabhuji for the Shloka and synonyms, Divya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji. Maitreya uvacha pura vishwasrujam satre sameta paramarshayah tatamara ganak sarve sanuga munayo agnayah. Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, synonymous. Maitreya Vacha, the sage Maitreya said, Pura, formerly at the time of Swayambhu Manu, Vishwa Srujam, of the creators of the universe, Satre, at a sacrifice, Sametaha, were assembled, Paramas Rishyaha, the great sages, Tata, and also Amara Ganaha, the demigods, Sarve, all, Sa Anugaha, along with their followers, Munae, the philosophers, Agneya, the fire gods. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Shamapriya Mataji, translation and purport. You can read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. Translation by Prabhupada ki jai. The sage Maitreya said, in a former time, the leaders of the universal creation performed a great sacrifice in which all the great sages, philosophers, demigods, and fire gods assembled with their followers. Purport. Upon being asked by Vidura, the sage Maitreya began to explain the cause of the misunderstandings between Lord Shiva and Daksha, because of which goddess Sati gave up her body. Thus begins the history of a great sacrifice performed by the leaders of universal creation, namely Marichi, Daksha, Vashishta. These great personalities arranged for a great sacrifice, for which demigods like Indra and the fire gods assembled with their followers. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva were also present. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So we discussed this already. Tatra pravishtam rishayo drishtvarkam iva rocisha brajamanam vidimiram purvantam tan mahatsadaha.
Padma Mataji, you can recite the Shloka.
Yeah, I mean, if there are no people who want to read, then same person can do all the three. Verse, synonyms, translation also. There are no purports in these verses. Yeah.
Okay, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Next
5. Tatra pavistram rasayo vishwakram iva roshisa brajamanam vitimiram kurvantam tan mahatsada.
Sudha Mataji, you can read the synonyms.
Okay. We have 44 devotees. Devotees who have not yet read, may please raise your hand and read if it is possible for you all. Yeah, thank you. Yes, go ahead,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranams.
Pranams, Mataji.
Synonyms. Tatra. Synonyms by Divine Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. Tatra, there. Pravishtam, having entered. Rishaya, the sages. Drishtva, seeing. Arkam, the sun. Eva, just like. Rochisha, with luster. Rajamanam, shining. Vitimiram, free from darkness. Purvantam, making. Tat, that. Mahat, great. Sada, assembly.
Paramprabha Mataji, translation. Paramprabha.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. When Daksha, the leader of translation by Prabhupada ki jai. When Daksha, the leader of the Prajapatis, entered that assembly, his personal bodily luster as bright as the effulgence of the sun, the entire assembly was illuminated, and all the assembled personalities became insignificant in his presence. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
So Daksha was a very, very great personality. It is not that he wanted respect, although he did not deserve. No, he definitely deserved respect. But he was this. When we get power corrupts absolutely, like that they say. When power comes in, then it will. It has a tendency to bring about this controllership mentality. Unless we are very, very clear, unless we reiterate ourselves, whatever little power or whatever control we have, it's given to us by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just like this book, this book of Bhagavatam. This book does not belong to me. This book belongs to Krishna, but it is simply under my care right now. Isha vasem idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tiktena bunjita magrada kasyas vidanam. This book will belong to somebody else tomorrow. Right? Either the book will be taken away or I will be taken away. Right? The book will be taken by somebody else. So whatever is there with me, whether this bead bag or this bottle or whatever, this mobile, everything, is I am just a caretaker for it, caretaker of it for now. Right? So these objects will either go away or I may leave the objects. So they're all temporary. So we should understand that I am not the proprietor, I am not the enjoyer, I am not the controller, but rather the Supreme Lord, Bhuktaram Yagnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the Supreme Lord who is a controller, proprietor, and enjoyer. And I have been given some tasks to be executed on his behalf. Right? And I am supposed to do it in a way that gives pleasure to the Lord. And that is the way in which I should do. Udatishtan sadasyaste swadishnebhyah sahagnayah rite virincham sharvam cha tadbhasha kshipta chetasaha.
Ansuya Mataji, Shloka, Rohini Mataji, synonyms and purport. The translation also.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. Udatishtan sadasya yaste swadishnebhya sahagyanah rite viranchim sarvam cha tadbha chakshita chetasaha. Thank you, Mataji.
Udatishtan stood up, Sadasyaha, the members of the assembly, they Swadishnebhya, from their own seats, Saha Agneya, along the fire gods, Rite, except for Virincham, Brahma, Sarvam, Shiva, Cha, and Tat, his Dakshas, Bhasa, by the luster, Akshipta, are in Chetasa, those whose minds. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Influenced by his personal bodily luster, all the fire gods and the other participants in that great assembly, with the exceptions of Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, gave up their own sitting places and stood in respect for Daksha. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so we discussed this. So everybody is getting up, offering respect to Daksha, and Daksha is so happy to receive such respect. But then his eyes now go to see Lord Shiva. Oh, he's sitting in the assembly, he's not giving me respect. Sadasaspati birdaksho bhagavan sadhu satkritah ajam loka gurum natva nisha sada tat ajnaya.
Sudha Mataji, you can do the translation, Shloka and this thing, synonyms also.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. Sada Satvati Bhirdakṣo Bhagavan Sadhu Satkrita Ajam Loka Gurum Natva Nisha Sadha Tad Ajnaya. Synonyms: Sadasaha, of the assembly, Pati, by the leaders, Daksha, Bhagavan, the possessor of all opulences, Sadhu, properly, Satkrita, was welcome, Ajam, to the unborn, Brahma, Loka Gurum, to the teacher of the universe, Natva, making obeisances, Nishasada, sat down, Tat Ajnaya, by his, Brahma's order. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Jai. Daksha was adequately welcomed by the President of the Great Assembly, Lord Brahma. After offering Lord Brahma respect, Daksha, by the order of Brahma, properly took his seat. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So Daksha was happy. Everybody is offering him respect, and then he offered respect to Brahma. Of course, Brahma is his father. So to offer respect to one's father is very natural. So he offered respect to Brahma, and then he took his seat. Now what happened? Now he is going to see our dear Lord Shiva, who is still in trance, who is meditating on the Lord. But he will look at him and, blood is boiling. Ooh, how can my son-in-law give me so much disrespect? This is the last verse for today. Pranishannam mridam drishtva namrishyat tat anadritaha vacha vamam chakshurbyam abhidiksha dahan iva. Synonyms, translation, purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada.
Shama Mataji, you can read the shloka, and Divya Mataji for the synonyms, and Sharmila Mataji translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranishnaamridam drishtva drishyatam tat anadritam uvacha vamana chakshvyam abhivikshya dahan iva. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, synonymous. Before Nisanam, being seated, Mridam, Lord Shiva, Drishtva, seeing, Na Amrasyat, did not tolerate, Tat, by him, Shiva, Anadritaha, not being respected, Uvacha, said, Vamam, dishonest, Chakshurbyam, with both eyes, Abhivikshaha, looking at, Dahan, burning, Iva, as if. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Before taking his seat, however, Daksha was very much offended to see Lord Shiva sitting and not showing him any respect. At that time, Daksha became greatly angry and his eyes glowing. He began to speak very strongly against Lord Shiva. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'll read the purport. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Lord Shiva, being the son-in-law of Daksha, was expected to show his father-in-law respect by standing with the others. But because Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are the principal demigods, their positions are greater than Daksha's. Daksha, however, could not tolerate this, and he took it as an insult by his son-in-law. Previously also, he was not very much satisfied with Lord Shiva, for Shiva looked very poor and was niggardly in dress.
Thank you, Mataji. So, in this case, Prabhupada is also giving another reason, right? Brahma and Shiva, right? Although Shiva is the son-in-law of Daksha, another reason is he is one of the lords of the three modes of material nature, right? He's been appointed by the Lord. Brahma has been appointed to take care of the mode of passion, rajasic, and Shiva has been appointed by the Lord to take care of tamoguna, and he himself is assuming the form of Vishnu and taking care of sattva-guna. So he is in charge of the three modes of material nature. That means he is a lord of the three modes of material nature. And by that virtue, the position of Lord Shiva is higher than that of Daksha. So it was not necessary for Lord Shiva to even stand up. And it's also explained in the explained by Srila Prabhupada elsewhere also that Shiva was also meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And because he was in the transcendental meditation, he did not see Daksha enter the sacrificial arena. That is also explained by the acharyas. So net, what is in summary in today's class? Humility is the virtue of a Vaishnava. Humility is what Trinadapi Shuni Chena Taroriva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. If we at all want to progress in Krishna consciousness in this age of Kali, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, 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 Gatir Anyatha. In this age of Kali, there is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way to become self-realized, to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to understand the Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, other than by the process of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And to perfect our lives by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we have to have this necessary quality that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is given in the third verse of Shikshashtakam, which is Trinadapi Shuni Chena. to become more humble than a blade of grass, taro riva sahishnuna, to become more tolerant than a tree, amanina manadena, offering all respects to others, manadena, offering all respects to others, amanina, not expecting any respect in return, amanina manadena, kirtaniya sadahari. Only then we can do kirtaniya sadahari. Only then we can constantly chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And that is the most essential principle for us to go back home, back to Godhead. And that is the goal of human form of life. Thank you very much for your kind hearing. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudeva ki jai. Pashankush Ekadashi Mahamahotsava ki jai. Chaturmas Vrata ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. So 10:40. Do we have time for questions? I don't think there are hands up also. So I thank all of you for your kind hearing. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams. Hare Bol.
Thank you, Mataji, for the class. Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji. Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Pranam.
Mataji. Pranam.
Shall we end the session, Mataji?